Very good morning. Welcome to Physics Bouquet. My dear viewers, my dear students. Today, again, we'll discuss a new topic of electrostatics, which is the fundamental law or basic law of electrostatics and popularly known as Coulomb's law. There is Coulomb's law of magnetostatics also, but it is Coulomb's law of electrostatics. The statement of Coulomb's law is like this. According to this law, the magnitude of force of interaction, actually it is electrostatic force of interaction, is directly proportional to the magnitudes, the products of magnitudes of charges of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance of separation between them, the distance of separation between them. The magnitude of electrostatic force of interaction. Here interaction includes repulsion as well as attraction. We know that like charges repel, unlike charges attract. So interaction means repulsion as well as attraction is directly proportional to the product of magnitudes of two charges. Of course, the charges should be at rest. And inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Generally, we commit mistake here. The square term is generally omitted. So, I am giving emphasis to this term square. Proportional to the square of the distance of separation between them. Let us discuss this mathematically. Suppose this is a charge A, this is another charge B. Distance of separation between them is D. Such Suppose its magnitude is plus q1, its magnitude is plus q2, both are positive, then since they are like charges, they will repel each other. It will push, A will push B away, B will push A away. So this is force of interaction. Suppose this force is F, then this force is also F. If these are opposite charges, suppose this is minus q1 and this is plus q2, then there will be force of attraction. q2 will be attracted towards q1 and q1 will be attracted towards q2. Force of interaction is again F and distance of separation is again D. The same thing happens when both are negative charges. If both of them are negative charges, then also the force of repulsion occurs. Here it will be repelled. Minus q1 will repel it or push q2 away from it, and minus q2 will push q1 away from it. Of course, with the same force, later on we will discuss that the force is same. So, force of interaction, again I am repeating, force of interaction means repulsion as well as attraction. Now come to the statement. Here, statement is the magnitude of force of interaction. Magnitude means force is a vector quantity, it has magnitude as well as direction. I am saying magnitudes. So magnitude of force of attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of charges. So here we will not take minus sign or plus sign. If q1 is minus, q2 is plus, then also q1 into q2. If minus q1 minus q2, then also q1 into q2. Therefore we can give magnitude sign. F is proportional to q1 into q2, magnitude of charges. If we, that means no need of taking the sign, whether it is positive or negative, it does not matter. We have to take the magnitude only. So force proportional to product of magnitudes of charges, and it is inversely proportional to the distance of separation between square of the distance of the separation. Square of the distance we have taken d and its square is d square. So F inversely proportional to d square. That means if d increases, if the distance of separation between two charges increases, then force of interaction decreases. If the distance of separation is reduced, then force of interaction between them increases. Now we combine these two. If we combine the expressions I and II, if we combining the expressions, which expressions, above expressions, we will get F proportional q1 into q2 by d square. Now, if we change this proportionality symbol into an equal to symbol, we have to multiply a constant. Let us change this proportionality symbol into equality symbol. Hence, we can write F equal to some constant k into q1 q2 by d square. This is mathematical form of Coulomb's law, where k is proportionality constant. And it is given a name, and the name is Coulomb's constant. according to the name of Coulomb, and it is also called, its name is also called electrostatic force constant. Electrostatic force constant. Electrostatic force constant or Coulomb's constant. Coulomb's constant. And this force is dependent on medium in which charges are kept. If two charges are kept in water, then force, the value of force is something. If the two charges are put in air, then its value is something different. If it is put in hydrogen gas, its value will be different. So the force is dependent on the nature of the medium in which the two charges are kept. And one more thing, this law or this Coulomb's law is true only for, or it is valid for point charges. Valid for point charges. This point charges, it has two meanings. One is, suppose the size of the charges are very minute, then those can be considered point charges. Or if they are at very much large distances from the observer, suppose I am observing and they are at a distance of suppose 1000 kilometer or 2000 kilometer from me, then they can be considered to be point charges. Or if the two charges are large enough but their distance of separation is very large as compared to their sizes, suppose the size of the charge is 0.5 meter, size of each charge is 0.5 meter, and the distance of separation between them is suppose 500 kilometer, then as per the definition of point charges, this 0.5 meter is very much negligible, it is very less as compared to 500 kilometers. So we can take it to be take the two charges to be point charges. So it is valid for point charges. Two charges are at sufficient distance of separation, or if the sizes of them are very small, then also we can consider them to be point charges. Now we will discuss little bit about the vector form of Coulomb's law. One more thing I want to tell, the Coulomb's force which acts between two charges, the force acts between the line joining the two charges. Suppose this is the line joining two charges, the force acts along the line joining the two charges, along the line joining the two charges, along the line joining the two charges. This is called central force. That's why it is a central force. That means it acts along the line joining the centers of the two charges. Therefore, it is called central force. Our gravitational force is also a central force. The magnetic force between two magnets is also a central force. And similarly, electrostatic force of interaction is also a central force. Now we will discuss about the vector form of Coulomb's law. Hence, we have got the formula F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by D square. Coulomb's law in vector form. Coulomb's law in vector form. In vector form. To derive it in vector form, let us consider two charges. Suppose this is charge Q1 and this is charge Q2, and its position vector is R1 and position vector for Q2 is suppose R2. Position vector means if we join the position of the charge to the origin of the coordinate axis, then it is position vector. So it is position vector of Q2. This is the line joining them. Let us take it to be R21, and suppose both are positive, then the force on one applied by 2 be written as F12. This is written as F12 and this is written as F21. F12, we have written this as force on charge 1 applied by 2. Force on charge 1 applied by 2. Similarly, F21, this is force on second charge applied by 1. Force experienced by the Q2 and applied by Q1. This is force experienced by Q1 applied by Q2. Now, come to the figure. Here, all these are vectors. O, this is A, suppose this is point B. Now consider the triangle OAB. 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 We have this is R1, this is R2, and this is R21. Now we use triangle law of vector addition. According to triangle law of vector addition, this plus this is equal to this, because these two are in same order. This is this, this is this. So, and this is in opposite order. This is coinciding with the tail of the R21. So, these two are in same order. So, we can write vector R1 plus vector R21 is equal to vector R2 as per the triangle law of vector addition. This implies R21 is equal to vector R2 minus vector R1. We got the distance of separation between these two charges. R21, position of Q2 with respect to Q1. If we will write R12, then it will be along this direction. Now remember this. This is force on 1 due to 2, force on 2 due to 1, and this is position of 2 with respect to 1. Now come to Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So, vector, we will write vector F12. It will be written as K into Q1 into Q2 by R21. This is magnitude, R21 square. This is magnitude. We know that F is equal to Q1 Q2 by D square. Here in place of D, there is R21. so we will write R21 square. But since it is a vector, this side we have to multiply a unit vector, and that unit vector is R21 cap. So that R21 cap should be in the direction of F12. We know that vector A is equal to magnitude of A into A cap. This is unit vector along the direction of vector A. So we have taken R21 unit vector which is along F12. That means R12, this is along the F12. F12 is acting this side. So R12 acting, R21 acting this side. R21. So R21 square, this much. You see, vector A is equal to magnitude of A into A cap. Then A cap is equal to vector A by A. Similarly, here we will write F12, just a minute, vector R21, it will be equal to R21 cap. That means unit vector of R21. So vector R21 divided by, what we will write? Magnitude of R21. Now place it here. What we will obtain? Vector F12 is equal to, vector F12 is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by, in place of R21 we will put this, just mark here. So above will remain vector R21 और नीचे क्या रह जाएगा? R21, magnitude of R21. This magnitude of R21 will be multiplied with R21 square. So it becomes R21 cube. So we will get R21 cube and here R21. This is vector form of Coulomb's law. If we will find out F21, then what will be the formula? That means now vector F21 will get K into Q1 Q2 by R12 cube R2 R12, vector R12. Let it be equation 1 and this is equation 2. So ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. Here F21, F12, K, Q1, Q2. Here R12, here R21. Here R21 vector, R12 vector. If you take R12 cube, this is magnitude. So magnitude cube, R21 cube will be same. Only difference is R12 and R21. R21 is how much? This is R2 minus R1. And this will be R1 minus R2. Therefore, we will get equation from equation 1 and 2. We observe that from 1 and 2, we will have vector F12 will be negative of vector F21. Because R21 is equal to vector R2 minus vector R1. Vector R2 minus vector, that in triangle law we had discussed. R21, this is R1, this is R2. So R1 plus this is equal to R2, R2 minus R1, and R12 will be equal to how much? This will be vector R1 minus vector R2. So they are negative of each other. R2, vector R2 minus vector R1 is equal to minus of vector R1 minus R2. So we will get vector F12 is equal to this much. So in general form we can write vector, Coulomb's law in vector form in general. We will write, what we will write? Vector F is equal to K into q1 q2 by magnitude of rq into vector r. This is vector form of Coulomb's law. If it is f12, it is f21, this is this. Or in some books it is written like this, k into q1 q2 by suppose vector r minus r dash q, and here vector r minus vector r dash. This is as per the position vector. So this is about Coulomb's law, and in the next video we will discuss some units of charges and the numerical problems related to it, and also numerical problems related to the quantization of charges. So goodbye for the next video.